Agatha Christie, the Queen of Crime. Her books have been selling for over a century, and they still do what very few books can. They refuse to let go of the reader until the very last page. A genius. That's what the world calls her. But was she really? After years of not reading anything at all, my love for books suddenly came back. And to re-enter that world properly, I made my way to a bookstore. I grew up on stories, so novels were always my thing. But I had one condition. Whatever I picked had to grab me from the first page, hold on until the last one, and then leave me stunned. With that particular aftertaste, only a great ending gives you. And there's really only one genre built entirely around that promise, the detective novel. So the moment I walked in, I headed straight for that section. I'm not a picky person. I just wanted to grab a book and start reading. Honestly, my plan at that point was modest. Spend a little less time staring at screens, a little more time doing something useful. And, between us, I really love the smell of new books. Cheaper than perfume, and nobody judges you for sniffing it in public. What I didn't know was that I was about to start reading this author's entire catalog in chronological order. On the shelf, I spotted a book with a beautifully designed cover, and then there were none, by someone named Agatha Christie. I didn't overthink it. I bought it and headed home. I opened it on the bus, read a few pages, found a natural stopping point, closed it. The next day, I read a little more, then a little more, then a little more. That was the structure of the whole novel. The story unfolds slowly, and with every page, your attention doesn't fade. It sharpens. I won't spoil any of it. All I'll say is this: when I turned the last page, I just sat there. In the years that followed, I would go on to read close to 30 of her books, falling for those meticulously engineered plots, again and again. And of course, for the most famous detective she ever designed, a man built with the same precision as her plots, Hercule Poirot. June 1977. A 19-month-old girl is flown from Qatar to London in critical condition. She's admitted to Hammersmith Hospital with a severe, cascading illness that completely baffles the medical staff. The baby is barely conscious. Her blood pressure is dangerously low. She's struggling to breathe, and her hair has started falling out in clumps. The doctors run test after test for rare disorders. Every single one comes back negative, and with every dead end, time is running out, and her condition keeps getting worse. But during those days, there's a nurse on the ward named Marcia Maitland, and in her spare time, she's reading a novel, Agatha Christie's The Pale Horse. In the book, the victims of a mysterious poisoning show a very specific set of symptoms, and Marcia realizes she's seen those exact symptoms before, not in a textbook, in the crib right in front of her. The next morning, she goes to the doctors and says it out loud. This looks like thallium poisoning. The child was in such a state that the medical team was ready to consider anything. Samples were sent to the lab, and the results confirmed it. Thallium. With the right diagnosis finally in hand, the right treatment began, and the little girl started to recover. What led to saving her life that summer wasn't medicine, it was a detective novel. The poisonings that appear in so many of Christie's books, and her expertise in them, were no accident. During the First World War, she worked as a nurse at a hospital in Turkey. Later, she moved to the hospital's dispensary, and in 1917, she passed her exams and qualified as an apothecary's assistant. In that era, medicines were prepared entirely by hand, and the difference between a remedy and a poison was one small weighing error. To prepare for her exam, she took private lessons from a local pharmacist, a man she only ever referred to as Mr. P. One day, while preparing suppositories, Mr. P got the dose wrong. 10 times too strong. Christie quietly checked his calculations and confirmed the mistake, but she couldn't exactly correct her own teacher, so she found another way. She accidentally tripped, sent the suppositories crashing to the floor, and stepped on them firmly. A fresh batch was made, this time at the correct dose. On another day, Mr. P pulled a brown lump out of his pocket and asked her what she thought it was. It was curare, a poison that's lethal the moment it enters the bloodstream. Why was he carrying it around? His answer: "It makes me feel powerful," which is exactly what you want to hear from the man preparing your grandmother's medicine. 50 years later, Christie brought this deeply unsettling man back to life as the pharmacist in The Pale Horse. This hands-on experience did something for her that no amount of research could. When she constructed the death on the page, she wasn't imagining it. She was remembering how it would actually work. So, was Agatha Christie really a genius? Look at the numbers. Poison appears in 41 of her novels. That's 61% of them. And honestly, that repetition doesn't scream genius. Read several of her books back to back, and the murder mechanics start to feel familiar. I'll admit it, even I got bored at times. So what made Christie different? What kept her untouchable for decades? The construction, the dialogue between characters, the way the story opens up slowly, layer by layer, the way she keeps you thinking, constantly. The list goes on. But here's the twist. If you look at Christie's own words, you might conclude she had no special gift at all. In a 1955 BBC radio interview, when asked about her working methods, she gave a disarmingly honest answer. The disappointing truth, she said, was that she didn't have much of a method. The real work was thinking the story through and, in her words, worrying it out until it felt right. And then there are the notebooks. 73 of them, kept throughout her career and later decoded by researcher John Curran. They reveal something unexpected, a mind that was relentlessly productive, endlessly sharp, and completely, hopelessly allergic to anything resembling order or discipline. Murder methods scribbled next to shopping lists, plot twists sandwiched between phone numbers. And yet, open any of her novels and you'll find the exact opposite: ruthless logic, airtight structure, every clue placed with surgical precision. The chaos never made it to the page. That was the whole trick. You don't need superhuman abilities to be remembered as a genius. If our story's hero proves anything, it's this. Take one craft, work at it with relentless logic and consistency, and you might just end up the queen of crime. What matters isn't having the perfect method. It's refusing to stop until you find the thing that's right. So here's my question to you. What do you think it takes to be a genius? Drop your thoughts in the comments and stay with Y Zone.